right, let me get my stuff done. Give myself a thumbs up so I know where to start when I do my editing. And let's get started. All right. So what is tonight gonna hold for everybody? These kind of workouts are actually one of my favorites. So I know a lot of you guys who've been with me for a while hear me continuously talk about cadence and the importance of cadence and leg speed. So I've always told you that you know if you're making improvements in your cadence, if you're able to shift to a harder gear and hold that same cadence. We're going to kind of do that tonight. We're going to start with some high cadence work in a relatively easy gear. Then we're going to start kind of walking down the cassette and seeing how you can hold a particular cadence as we move through harder gears. So I want you to really focus tonight on finding those fast legs, thinking really light in your feet, and working specifically on getting your legs to get some speed in them. So the other thing that will happen is you're going to notice these gears are not super hard gears. So that means I want you to control these efforts. That's going to be the biggest part about tonight's workout. It is kind of like a ladder in terms of a time frame. It's going to go 30 seconds, 1 minute, 1.5, 2 minutes. So each of those time frames has its own set. So we'll do, obviously with the longer effort, the set will get a little longer. But it'll still be in the same time frame as we normally have. And right now, if you don't have it, get your towel, get your water bottle, have your fan ready. Make sure you're in the easiest gear on your bike right now, your small ring, and an easy gear at the top of the cassette, so that you can spin your legs between 85 and 90 right now, just to get the body warmed up. And I know some of you guys log in early and warm up. That's perfect. It's great that you're doing that. An extra 5-10 minutes will make a difference in the long run. So keep that as a practice for yourself if it's something that you can make happen. We're going to go 2 more minutes. Then we'll go to our normal warm up. Get the legs going. Bring a little lactic acid to the top. Get the legs prepared to do some fast leg work. And I want you tonight to really think, as I said earlier, about feeling the lightness in your feet tonight. Thinking about body position and how it affects everything. So I was doing a strength routine with an athlete earlier in the week. And we did it an effort where we were holding weights and we put them above our heads and came back down. Well, when you have significant weight in your hands over your shoulders, it really engages your core, because we were actually sitting, not standing. So when you sit, you have to engage your core to be able to hold those weights up. And I said to her, I said, this is what I want you to feel on the bike. This is how I want you to feel your core engaging as you sit in that saddle. So tonight, when we're doing these high cadence efforts, I want you to feel that core start to become part of the equation. All right? So to get us started, we're going to do 30 seconds on, 1 minute off. You're going to shift down to your 15. So if you've forgotten what your 15 is, if you go all the way to the bottom, you're at your 12 or your 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 3 gears up from your smallest cog in the back. 30 seconds. Give me a hard effort. 3, 2, 1. Let's get the leg going. Keep the cadence of whatever you can maintain in that gear. Pushing that out. Start to feel the legs burning. Also start to feel the body start to breathe a little heavier. 3, 2, 1. Shift back up to the top of that cassette. Nice, easy gear. 1 minute easy. For the next one, we're going to go to the same gear. It's going to be 30 seconds again. But this time, you're going to stand up. Now that gear might not be some of you might not be happy with that gear for 30 seconds. Not enough resistance under you. But do your best and try to hold on to 30 seconds worth of standing. Remember, your hands will be in your hoods. You're going to go straight up. Find that gear. 3, 2, 1. Standing up. Feel your upper body being nice and tall. So I can see if you have a jersey on, I should be able to see the words on your jersey. Dancing on the pedals. 3, 2, 1. Sit back down. Nice, easy gear. Spin out the legs. Now that one really got the heart rate going a little bit. Start feeling the sweating process starting to happen. That's a good thing. The next one, we're going to stay seated, just like the first one. It might feel a little different now because the legs are starting to come to life. The best part about this workout tonight is your legs aren't going to feel wasted by the end, but your lungs are going to get a workout. Because as we know, that higher cadence work brings out the cardio. Shifting back down to that 15. 3, 2, 1. Give me 30 seconds hard. Feel yourself pedaling evenly. Nobody's pushing their heels down. Nice and steady on the bike. Three, 2, 1. Back to easy. One more of those efforts to go. So we were watching prior to the session tonight at the Vuelta, which is one of the Grand Tour bike races happening in Spain. They have the time trial today. Well, the time trial bikes now in the pro peloton are so extreme. Like their seats to their bars are at such an angle. It's unbelievable that they can even be in those positions. But as a result of that, the guys are constantly like sliding forward on their saddles and then having to push back to put themselves in the right spot. Find that 15. Last time, stand it up. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Stand it up. Ten to go. Keeping the hips still. 3, 2, 1. Easy gear. Take a drink. Get ready for our first effort. So back to that time trial. If for any reason you feel a lot of pressure on your hands, or you feel like you're sliding off the nose of your saddle, it could be just that your saddle is not properly balanced. So your seat should be, for the most part, level. Some people, female, male, depending on what anatomy you have, might need the nose to be slightly down or sometimes slightly up. But you have to make that determination for yourself. But if you have the proper saddle, then having it level, or depending on the type of saddle you have, is going to be the right place to put it. All right, so here's our first effort. 4 minutes long. It's in your small ring 23. So if you have a 28 at the top, that means you're shifting down 2 gears, 2 harder gears to that gear. If you have a 25 at the top, you're only going to shift to 1 harder gear. If you have a compact crank in the front, you might play around with putting in a gear where you're not going to bounce. So our goal is to do 30 seconds at 105 to 110 cadence. Then 30 seconds easy, bringing that cadence down to around 80. So find your gear, shift to it. Here we go. 30 seconds, nice and high. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Let's hit it. I'm going to settle in right at around 110 so you can see what 110 looks like. Now, if I lengthen my core and use my abs, I'm able to hold that cadence a lot better. 3, 2, 1. Bring your cadence down to about 80. It's okay to go slow here because I really want your legs to go fast when we want them to go fast. So allow yourself to have this good rest period. Just stay in the same gear. You shouldn't be shifting. 3, 2, 1. Bring the cadence right back up. Let's go. 110, I'm right at it. Holding tight at 110. You might be feeling this in your calf muscles. By the end of this, believe it or not, those calf muscles are firing. 3, 2, back to 80. We're doing a total of 4 minutes of this. We're 1.5 minutes in. Keep that slow cadence going. Don't forget to drink. Remember the rule. Finish your water bottle by the end of this workout. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Right back up. Find that cadence right as soon as you start. It's really cool. When I slope my back, I can't hold the cadence. As soon as I sit up tall, engage my abs, I go right back to it. 3, 2, 1, back to 80. Spin those legs easy. And of course, the arms are going to play a role. Nobody's got straight arms like this. Then your shoulders go up. You want to keep that bend in the elbow. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Spin it up. Now you might not be feeling, because of this gear selection, like this 30 seconds is really killing the cardio yet. Give it time. We're going to go a little bit longer. 3, 2, 1. Stay in this gear. We're going to go 2 minutes here. So here's how the next one's going to go. You're actually going to shift down one harder gear from where you currently are. The effort is a minute long with a minute break. The cadence, 100 to 105. If you can hold 110, then that's when you know you're starting to make some improvements in your leg speed. So when you can hold a similar cadence to the one you were holding in the gear previous, that's showing that you have the leg speed and the ability to be able to do that. So think about what allowed you to hold whatever cadence you were holding in the previous effort. Hopefully, knowing who's on the Zoom tonight, on the trainer session tonight, I know that all you guys can get to 110. So let's see in this next effort if you can consistently hold 100. I'm going to make it to 110 for 1 minute. And then you're going to get 1 minute off. 7 minutes total for the effort. So you should be in the gear that you were doing that last effort in right now. So you're probably around your 23 or your 21. This next effort, all you're going to do is shift down to one harder gear. But we're going to go a little bit longer. Here we go. Find that gear. 3, 2, 1. We're looking at 1 minute. 100 to 105. Make it look like a perfect box for a minute. Don't start off really high and then begin to die. Or don't start off really low and make it look like a mountain. You want to get consistent with that cadence. Feel yourself finding that good position to hold that cadence. Take a deep breath if you need to get the body in the right place. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Bring the cadence down. Down to 80. One minute. Allow yourself to recover so that you can fire up to that next level and hold that same cadence. So whatever you held for the first effort, everyone from now on, For this 1 minute effort, I want you to hold that. So you set the bar for yourself in that first one. No shifting should be happening. You should still be in the same gear now that you'll be in for the minute. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Bringing it up. 100 to 110. I'm right at 110. If you're following my leg speed. I love the fact that everybody is really still. That means that your legs are doing all the work, which is perfect. You don't need to be doing this. All that extra excess energy is for no good. Find that strong core. Hold that high cadence. Building those little mitochondria in there. To play the game. 3, 2, 1. Back down to 80. So if you're doing this properly, you're keeping your legs light, and you're using that upward part of the stroke, you might start feeling your quads firing, which is exactly what you want. You want to develop those quads because they're where you're going to get your fast legs. Those glutes and hamstrings, they're good for sprinting, good for climbing. But the quad itself is really what helps you get from that bottom part of the stroke back up to the top. All right, we're coming up on 4 minutes in. That means we have 3 to go. 3, 2, 1. Right back to that cadence. Within the first 10 seconds, can you get to where you want to be in terms of the cadence you can hold? I'm right at 110. Stick with it. Only concentrate on the cadence. Nothing else. When you let other thoughts come into your head, then that cadence will drop. Three, 2, 1. Back down to 80. We got one more 1 minute effort to do. Enjoy this recovery period. So we decided on Saturday we were going to go hiking since it was kind of a colder day than we were used to. So we went to Ramapo, which is literally 5 miles from our house. And of course, as many of you know, Randy said, oh yeah, we're going to do 6 miles or so. Well, his 6 miles turned into 10 miles. And all of us, myself, my nephew, and Randy, the next day were feeling it. 3, 2, 1. Last one. Right back to that cadence that you were at previously. Find it. Settle into it. Then hold it for the whole minute. It was funny, we were all feeling it in different places. We use hiking sticks when we hike. And Randy said in the middle of the night, his thumbs were hurting from the way you grabbed the pole, which was kind of funny in a way. 15 seconds. Three, two, one. Stay in that gear. You're going to get 2 minutes easy. Take a drink. Towel off. You might not feel the same kind of sweating that was happening last Thursday for those of you that came to the Thursday session. We did a zone 3 endurance type effort. And when you work in zone 3, man, you sweat like crazy. These kind of efforts, a little higher, because your heart rate gets maybe into the bottoms of zone 4. That's going to change the way the body reacts to it. You might feel yourself more breathing a little harder for these, especially as we move down this ladder. Now, from this gear that you're currently in, you're going to go one more harder gear when I count it down. When you move to that next gear, we're going to go 1.5 minutes for the effort. So for this next gear, if you can still hold 110, fantastic. The bottom number is now 90. No lower than 90, and as high as you can go in terms of the cadence. So if you can hold 110, then that means your leg speed has really developed, which is what we're looking for. Holding those same cadences as you shift to a harder gear. So this next one is going to be 1.5 minutes on, 1.5 minutes off for 10.5 minutes. Shift down one harder gear. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. 1.5 minutes. 90 to 110. I'm going to hold right at 100. So for those of you that don't have cadence and you want to test yourself, see if you can hold 100 for 1.5 minutes. I'm right at 100 right now. I'm going to keep it there. So if you need to follow my leg speed, it's a perfect way to do it. Settle in. I'll give you the 1 minute mark so you can have some sense of how much longer you need to go. Almost there to 1. 1 minute down. 30 seconds to go. Start thinking about those things that we know help the legs go faster. Core. Bending the elbows. Feeling that upward part of the stroke. Light feet. 3, 2, 1. Bring it down to 80. Woo! That brought the heart rate up a little bit more. A little harder gear. A little higher cadence. The nice part about this workout is at the end, your legs shouldn't feel like they're totally dead. They should actually have a little bit of spark in them. Because you're not putting yourself in any gears that are super hard. "30 more seconds. till we start the next one. So you set the bar again for yourself. For the 1.5 minute effort, whatever you held in that first one, hold again for these next couple. Don't let the cadence drop from start to finish. 1.5 minutes. I'm going to go right back to 100. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. 90 to 110. Whatever you feel, you can sustain. And again, just concentrate only on that cadence. That'll help you focus on only one thing. No multitasking necessary tonight. Fortunately, you can pedal and think about the cadence at the same time. It's like walking and chewing gum, or rubbing your head and patting your, what is it? Patting your head and rubbing your stomach. You're almost to the minute. "30 seconds to go." Now is when you might feel the cardio kind of kicking in. Those of you that have heart rate or power, start paying attention to where those numbers are going. 3, 2, 1. Bring the cadence down to 80. Woo! 1.5 minutes easy. Take a drink. If you're putting electrolyte mix in your drink, that's a good thing. You're probably sweating more on the trainer in your house than you do when you're outside. So you need to replenish the things that you are losing. All those nutrients, potassium, magnesium, calcium, sodium, and the electrolyte itself helps to bring all that back, depending on which mix you're using. So if you're using a scratch, that has all the things you need. I'm not sure about Noon or the goo mix. You'd have to check the packaging for that. All right, getting ready for the next one. Staying in this gear. 1.5 minutes. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. I'm going right back to that 100. $90 to 110 is our range again. No higher, no lower than 90. And again, it's 1.5 minutes. I'm right at 100. So the good thing about going on a hike on the weekend was also to just do something different. So the body knows how to do cycling, has been doing that. So to switch it up, some of that soreness that we were all feeling are just muscles that don't get used on the bike, that get used when you hike. And we were feeling it in our feet too. 10 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. Bring it down again. Back to 80. Take advantage of these easy times. We got one more to go. Then you can probably feel where this effort's going. The next one's going to be 2 minutes long. And the cadence is going to stay close to where you're at, in hopes that you can build that leg speed, build that cadence, and on top of all that, you're building the cardio. Turn on my little fan. "30 more seconds till we start the last minute and a half effort." And just like the previous ones, stick right into that cadence and the effort that you did in the previous. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. I'm going right back to 100. Dead onto it. I always like to play the game with myself. Can I hold it within 2 RPMs? So if I'm at 100, it might flip to 101, 102. I don't want to go any higher than 102. And of course, if I'm really consistent with the core, I can just hold it. So play those games with yourself. Because that'll make a difference out on the road. 30 seconds to go. Hold on to the effort. I know you're probably thinking, I want to just drop my cadence just slightly. Try not to. Three, 2, 1. Stay in that gear. Bring down your cadence. 2 minutes here. So this is the other hard part, is I'm forcing you in between these to stay in a gear that you might not normally do as a cool down or as an easy part. So that's kind of wearing the legs out just a tad bit. The next one that we're going to go to, you got a minute and a half more of rest. 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off. And of course, you're going to shift down one harder gear. You don't have to go there yet. And now the cadence, the bottom of the cadence is only 85. But really, I know that you guys can hold 90, 95, maybe even 100. So I'm going to hold between 90 and 95 for you, so you can see what that is. And remember, that 90 cadence now, it actually will feel a little slow since you've been ramping up the legs with all those higher cadence work. And this is the beauty of the high cadence work. When your body knows how to do 110, 90 actually feels comfortable now. So I'm spinning at 85, but we're going to shift down to one harder gear. In 10 seconds, we're going to start the next effort. So go ahead, shift down one harder gear, 2 minutes, 85 to 105, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to hold I'm right at 95 right now. So if you feel like you can hold that same cadence, at least force yourself to go to 90. You might be somewhere between your 19, between your 21 and your 17 in your gearing. Right there at 95. I'll give you the 1 minute mark. One minute down. Holding it for one more minute. Now is when you really have to concentrate. Find that comfortable place for your hands. I keep saying it, but take that deep breath if you feel like your body position's wrong. "20 seconds. Stay in there. Stick with it. Three, 2, 1. Bring down the cadence. Get it to 80. Leave it in this gear. If you feel like you need to go to 75, that's okay too. Take a drink. Towel off. You're getting a full 2 minutes between these. So you should be fully recovered to jump right back into the next one. Just a tiny bit of fatigue happening, but not a lot. So on Sunday, we got out riding a little later than we wanted to. And I had looked at the weather. Randy had looked at the weather. And I thought, you know, I'm going to bring my raincoat just in case. So we get maybe 15 miles in, and I start feeling a little pitter-patter on the helmet. Next thing I know, full-on rain starts coming down. I said, "Oh, can we stop so I can put my raincoat on?" Randy said, "You brought your raincoat?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Oh man, I forgot mine again." So, of course, we had to ride 10 miles to get home. And by the time we got home, he was frozen. And I was like, oh, cozy in my nice rain jacket. So it pays to remember your rain jacket. And look at the forecast before you go. All right, here we go. Next one. 2 minutes. 3, 2, 1. Find that cadence again. 85 to 105. But I know you guys can stick at 90 or 95. I'm right at 95 if you're following me. Again, 2 minutes long. Feel the legs feeling strong now. Giving yourself lots of positive thoughts. One minute down. One to go. Keep the legs spinning. I'm right at 95 if you're following me. Relax the shoulders. Bend the elbows. Feel your feet. Where are they inside your shoes? $15 to go. Three, two, one. Bring it down. 75 to 80. You should be almost done with your water. We got one more 2-minute effort. Right now is your rest period. Allow it to come down. Allow yourself to recover. Pay attention to your heart rate. Where is it? Is it dropping? It should be. Even though the legs are working a little hard under you, you can still get that heart rate to drop. Only one more of these to go. You got one more minute of nice and easy. Then you have 2 minutes to finish up the workout. It looks as if this coming weekend is going to be very nice. In the high 60s, actually. So start planning now to get yourself outside since it's going to be so nice. Got to take advantage of all these nice days that come our way, because before we know it, it'll be snowing. My sister-in-law was really happy. They live in Iowa. They got like 6 inches of snow last week. All right, coming up on the last one. 2 minutes. 85 to 105. 3, 2, 1. Right back to where you were for the previous ones. You know the motto. Last one's the best one. This is when it counts here. When the body's been working hard, and you have to put in that last hard effort. Stick with it. I'll give you the minute. Do your body check. Do your breathing check. Should be natural. 1 minute to go. Nobody's forcing the air out. Just let the body breathe. Let your mouth be open just slightly. Feel your belly coming in and out. Don't let it drop. I know you're thinking that. Almost there. 15. 5, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Shift all the way to the top of your cassette. Allow your legs to spin and recover. Woo! I always find when we watch the Tour de France, the Giro, and now the Vuelta, I always find when I go out and ride, after watching those guys and the kind of leg speed they can sustain and hold for kilometer after kilometer, it actually motivates me to try to do the same thing. So I'm a very visual person, a visual learner. Know that about myself. So I think that just proves to me that if I can hold the same cadence that they're holding, then I'm going to be able to get up that hill a little faster. And that's something that we tend to do, especially when we're climbing, is we tend to slow our cadences down because obviously climbing hurts. But if you lighten up your legs and increase your cadence while you're climbing, you're actually going to go just a little bit faster, and it'll feel just a little bit easier as a result. So if you're pedaling like this at a slow pace up that climb, if you just increased your cadence slightly, I just increased my cadence by 5 to 10 RPMs. What it ends up doing is it straightens up your body, which is exactly what we want it to do. So when you go to that slow cadence and you're slogging up there, you feel like you have to push. Whereas if you would start to get that core tight, spin those legs a little faster, it's going to get you to climb. And I want you to try that next time you're climbing. Start at the bottom of a hill and go at a really slower pace than you want to. And then as you progress up it, see if you can keep that cadence just a little higher than you think you like it. And of course, it's about gear selection too. So you have to be in the right gear to get that turnover. On the Vuelta today, I keep talking about it, they actually had a time trial. The last section of it was an uphill piece. The guys were actually changing from their time trial bikes to a road bike at the base of the climb because this climb got up to upwards of 25 to 30%, which was just incredible. They were going so slow, it was ridiculous. But they also have had a week and a half plus on their legs of the tour. So that makes it hard for them. So we know what this is about right now. This is our cool down. Finish up that water in your water bottle. Allow yourself to spin your legs without any effort. Get in a gear. Doesn't matter what cadence you're at right now. Just enough to take all of that, those mitochondria that are dancing around now because they're so excited that your leg speed is so fast. You want to tell them, it's bedtime, guys. It's time to cool down. So allow them to just bring them down a little bit. We're going to go a couple of more minutes to have you cool down, and then you can be off and running. Get a shower, get a recovery shake, have some dinner, and then off to bed, and we'll see what kind of news we have in the morning. Unless you're staying up all night just to see what kind of news there is. Thursday, again, what I'm going to end up doing, if you guys didn't notice, in the emails that I send out with the link each week, I'll put a little one-liner in there that kind of tells you what the workout's going to be. So I'll give you an indicator of what we're going to work on so that you kind of have a sense of what to expect when you come. So those zone 3 efforts, bring 2 towels, maybe 2 water bottles. When we do some sprint efforts, just bring the strong legs. Same thing when we do some climbing efforts. And tonight was just the fast legs. So I'll try to keep doing that just so you have a little sense of what to expect. All right, I'm going to shut my stuff off. You guys can keep spinning till I come over. Oops, I hit the wrong thing. And I'm hoping that most of you are using some kind of, obviously, device and that you're uploading them to something, if it's Garmin Connect or whatever it might be. All right. Great job, everybody.